When you plant a sapling in a small glass terrarium, it thrives at first. The environment is perfectly tailored to its early needs. But if that plant is truly successful, it will eventually shatter the very glass that kept it safe. Years ago, an organization launched with a singular mission and a matching name, Super Coaching Incorporation. In the beginning, that highly descriptive title was effective. It told every prospective client exactly what the business did, right on the tin. But growth complicates things. The company expanded into complex data analytics with SCI Data Plus, pushed into technological integration via SCI Human Tech, and explored advanced communication through SCI Super Neurolinguistic. This diagram illustrates the mismatch that occurs when a descriptive name is stretched too far. The central coaching node fails to logically encompass these newer, distinct divisions like data, tech, and linguistics. The word coaching had stopped being a helpful descriptor. Instead, it became a rigid categorical box, masking the reality of the company's evolving capabilities. Relying on that outdated identity creates friction in the market. When pitching enterprise tech or data solutions, leading with a name rooted entirely in coaching leads to immediate confusion for potential partners. When a business successfully scales beyond its founding concept, clinging to a hyper-descriptive origin name becomes a liability. It risks the organization being misclassified by the very markets it is trying to serve. To solve this identity crisis, leadership issued an internal rollout memo in April 2026. This document laid out a specific strategic pivot to realign their brand with their new reality. The core strategy was to adopt a master brand architecture. Rather than treating each new division as an awkward add-on, they would unite everything under a single cohesive umbrella. This top-down hierarchy chart maps out the new architecture. SCI Group sits at the apex, linked to their master domain, scigroup.asia. Below that master brand, branches extend to distinct key brands like SCI School of Coaching and SCI Super Neurolinguistic, alongside specific web domains. Adopting this architecture consolidates separate services into a unified ecosystem. It provides the structural clarity needed to market diverse expertise without the confusion of a misaligned name. At this point, a logical question arises. If they are overhauling their public identity, why not simply file for an official corporate name change with the local authorities? Because changing a legal name creates significant operational friction. It triggers a cascade of administrative tasks, disrupting banking relationships, renegotiating vendor contracts, and manually updating compliance licenses. The memo reveals a more efficient workaround. This two-column matrix illustrates deliberately splitting the company's identity into two parallel tracks: legal entity and market identity. Behind the scenes, the original Super Coaching Incorporation name remains entirely unchanged. It is designated strictly for backstage operations, handling all invoices, finances, and formal legal contracts. Meanwhile, SCI Group takes over the front stage. It becomes the mandatory master brand for external touchpoints, including marketing, pitch decks, and public partnerships. The memo also sets strict negative guardrails. It specifically bans the phrase Super Coaching Incorporation Group. The document notes that combining the two terms is redundant and fails to improve their market positioning. To enforce this shift, the company required immediate standardization. Every employee updated their email signatures to feature the new brand line, and all website headers were visually updated to SCI Group. Splitting public narrative from legal compliance allows a brand to reposition its market identity while avoiding the bureaucratic friction of a full name change. The immediate result for SCI was a streamlined external presence. All communications and partnerships now operate under one unified premium banner. Furthermore, this architecture provides a framework for future scalability. If the company chooses to acquire a new division or launch a regional entity, they can add it to the structure without reinventing the corporate identity. This diagram visualizes that operational flexibility. As the overarching SCI Group umbrella expands, a new organizational node slides directly in beneath it, instantly gaining the credibility of the established group. The core philosophy driving the memo is the recognition that a market identity is not a legal definition. Instead, it is a tool designed to shape how an audience perceives the breadth of an organization's value. By aligning its identity with its actual operations, SCI moves beyond its origins as a coaching company to become an entity that scales personal and business mastery across multiple domains.